supplies resources for everyone. I mean, for all perspectives, we just serve the community, and they tell us, you know, we're not here to push an agenda. We're not here to,
They're just there.
yeah. And if you don't want it, don't check it out. And, you know,
Right. Good.
Are you gonna do the
Hey, Zoom?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so it's the library.
Oh, well, I'll run back to my office or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, no, you can.
Yeah,
She is the. She was.
I think yeah, we're streaming them right now.
Okay.
to Midtown Go-Team meeting. We'll follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to recommend everyone that this is a meeting of the Go-Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go-Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Midtown Go-Team to order at 4:15 p.m. Our first order of business is to call. Secretary will now take the roll.
Principal Betsy Hoffman. Here. Vicky Rafferty. Ms. Ashton. Jennifer Keenan.
Here.
Tracy Moore. Here. Stacy Tudor. Here. Artist Stanton. State, excuse me. Blair Barksdale. Here. And then we have Nydia Rivera. Here. And Chloe Walker. And then we have our two community member seats that are, they're not here.
We're going to recommend Ms. Montgomery.
Okay.
For that seats. Ms. Cruzicata is not here.
I will post it. Right? Okay. I'll just put it in this absence here. That's me.
Doesn't.
Desiree. All right, this team will only be able to take official action if the quorum is present. Secretary, is there a quorum present?
And so I think this is for my cousin today.
Thank you. If there's, okay, our first. Okay, so first action item is the approval of the agenda. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This is provided to you. It's on the board. Are there any changes to this agenda? Anything we need to add? May I have a motion to approve the agenda? A second? All in favor, please say aye. So the secretary can vote aye.
At this time, I'd like to bring forth our additional community member, Ms. Montgomery, is with us down at the end. And I'll let her introduce herself, tell a little bit about her interest in the Go-Team and anything else you'd like to share with us about being a parent and a community member.
Okay, my name is Regina Montgomery. I currently have a son that's here. He's in the 10th grade. I am, keep this mask off. I am a human resource director. I've been in that arena for over 20 years. And I'm interested in the Go-Team because me looking at having a student and seeing the trends that are coming down the pipe for students and for them to get engaged in employment and the soft skills that they need to help them in that arena. Because I see a lot of students that they don't have those soft skills and they don't have those skills to enter the workforce or know how to write a resume or communicate, make eye contact and different things like that. So I think that's something that I can bring to the group as a whole from the industry standard. Another thing is, as a parent, navigating through this process for me has been a little bit difficult because of just certain things, engagement. Sometimes when you come in as a parent, some of the administrators are kind of standoffish. So navigating this over the last, my son is in 10th grade, so over the last almost 10 years has been some challenges, but once I found that engagement and found a core that I could talk to and have open conversations with, it just made it a lot easier.
So this time I'd like to bring forth that's really part of it. It's just, I like to put it on. So
Thank you, I appreciate that.
review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The minutes were provided to you via email, and I know some people sent corrections. Are there any other corrections that you can make? Okay, so pretty much sent these out earlier. Everything we discussed, our action items, review the meeting dates, discussion items, principal report, etc. Is there anything else you may need to add or change? If there are no further corrections, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes.
Motion to approve the August 29th, 2022 minutes.
A second?
Making the motion.
All in favor, say aye. Okay, we will note that Desiree is here, okay?
Welcome.
Thank
Just
you.
stop for a second.
Yes.
So this is Desiree Malone. She's a senior, and I'll let her talk a little bit about what she's interested in her, participating in this, but also just with a great, that's how much you've been interested in and involved in.
Right now?
Yes.
Okay. So last year, my best friend and I noticed that a lot of our peers had fallen into a lot of substance abuse, and we're just kind of going down a really bad path. So we wanted to do something to step in and try to help them out. And we tracked that trend back to our freshman year, where we were the most impressionable, taking everything from around us. So we decided that we wanted to start a mentor program for the seniors to go to the freshmen and kind of help them out of that cycle, where they feel like they have to submit to what all the other students are doing. So we wanted to target that terrible pipeline and bring about an agenda of great scholars. Help them out and give them the knowledge that we received on our way to our senior year and help them get started early, because there's a lot of things that we didn't know then that we wish we knew. So that's our goal.
And we do have a big sister, big brother program that's just started. And then a mentor program. It's not with, that is adult and student. but we have a big sister, big brother program. But that was a direct result of, just about summer as well. They're coming to me starting in about, I guess, February, and just about their concerns. And we do have Mr. Young is starting the substance abuse, for kids that are identifying that they would like to be part of a group about that. Kids that maybe are struggling with that already, and I do think you're right, it's really getting with the ninth graders now, really talking about that. But it's very real, you know. I mean, I think about like the dance, you know, this Friday, I think about that's when things happen, like kids might try alcohol or something like that, or vaping, that's the big thing for me. So, it's never too early, freshman year, eighth grade, honestly. So, yeah, but she and Zion really got me very, very interested. It's one of the reasons why we brought on 2 additional people to help Dr. Crawford and Dr. Hernandez to really help with much more with the student support. So, definitely directly related to that's what I think. Okay, so we break forward. Did I do this last month or okay, so let's go for, again, even if we did a break forward as our second student rep in conjunction with Chloe Walker. So just welcome. We don't want to let's thank you. Welcome.
Okay, our first action item is review and update strategic plan, and C and D, they're separate, but they can go together with that review of strategic plan performance indicators. Do I hear a motion to approve this item? Second. Okay. It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? And we'll come to, this will be data, and then we're gonna talk about the first part of the strategic plan, and I have everything up there if you didn't remember your sheet. So right now, our enrollment as of today is at 1603. That was today at lunch. And the attendance is here. Here we are in comparison with everybody else.
It's good to be, that's good.
Very good.
And it is the different color blue, the blue is good. That means we're trending better than last year, which is right. And it's a huge focus of ours this year. Attendance.
Here it's broken down by grades. Not much of a change between the four. Okay, so what we'll discuss today is the fostering academic excellence for all, which is data curriculum instruction signature program, offer rigorous and culturally sustaining curriculum that prepares students for college, career, and civic engagement, ensure a safe and effective learning environment that encourages student engagement and quality work, use existing and appropriate tools to measure, analyze, and communicate student progress. So that goes into the attendance piece. And here's the first two performance indicators. I guess we'll discuss them when you kind of.
Sure. So, for people that are new to the Go team, every 5 years we really revamp our plan, strategic plan. And so we did a huge amount of work on that last year. And so what we wanted to do was something this Markstown was really just each month go over a specific portion, because it's a lot of text if you go over the whole thing. So just kind of talking about some things that we're doing here at Midtown with fostering academic excellence for all. That's one of our indicators, or one of our goals. So, some of the things, the strategies in alignment with our signature theme, the master schedule includes over 20 AP classes, that is 28 classes, and a significant offering of honors classes. Various student data is used to identify potential enrollees in these higher level classes, and students are encouraged to reach beyond their comfort zones for a reasonable challenge. So, one thing I'm very happy that we do at Midtown is students get your gifted eligibility or your gifted label, but most likely it's got in elementary school. While it's helpful here, it's not a sole determinant of classes. So if you're not in the gifted program, you still have the opportunity to get in honors classes. Of course, anybody can get AP classes, but it's based on your performance along the way. That it's not just one measure. It's, for instance, in 9th grade, you're coming in 9th grade, we look at 7th and 8th grade performance, your average and that kind of thing. And that's the way it goes from year to year. So we really look at that. I'm very proud of our counselors, spend a long time looking at data and current performance as well. So we partner with the Georgia State and Atlanta Area Tech to offer opportunities for college courses during the school day. We have a few students that are at Georgia Tech and a few that are at some other institutions. We're really trying to increase our work with Atlanta Area Tech through the Atlanta College and Career Academy. So ACCA, which is an APS vocational center, also partners with Atlanta Technical College. So kids can do a lot of dual enrollment. The Georgia State is just not the only thing. Everybody thinks, oh, I gotta take classes at Georgia State. There are so many opportunities to take classes and earn college credit through the Atlanta Tech, also through ACCA. So we're really building that out. And Regina, one of the things you talked about in HR is so important. I want you to work with Mr. Eichhoff, who is our new we have a new pathway, workforce ready. Okay. And what you talked about is exactly what he is doing, which so he has classes in which, I mean, it's a structured Georgia pathway, but where he's really trying to prepare kids for the world of work. And Ms. Rivera works closely with him as well. So they're going to take some field trips. They've already got one planned into September, like next week, to really go to some places and really bring people in. I think you would be an awesome person to partner with him and to come in and talk to kids about really, I'm an HR director and this is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So That would be really great. So we'll hook you up. And our CTAE programs will continue the process of achieving industry certification. That's a really important certification for high schools to have. And our programs are really top notch. So we continue to, that has to be renewed on a regular basis. And Stacy, you know that. Stacy was head of our CTA department last year. So she's well versed in that. And we actually got industry certification during the virtual, which was a huge thing. So very proud of that. Our administration will support teachers' efforts to minimize classroom disruptions and protect instructional time, and build a master schedule that incorporates protected time. All content areas will use frequent common formative assessments to gauge student mastery and prescribe individual remediation. We'll further our work regarding teacher clarity, so developing learning targets, identifying focus standards, defining student success criteria, creating modifying common assessments, and specifying remediation activities. So that really takes place 3B in our PLCs, which is professional learning communities. And for novices, that is, all the algebra teachers get together once a week for 90 minutes and talk about that. That's when they talk about geometry. All the PLCs do that on a weekly basis. Really trying to talk about that. One of the things that we are focusing on this year is equity in grading. It's something that you have to look at all the time. You can't, as a principal, I can't assume that that's going on. What I want to make sure is that everybody that's in ninth grade biology, so 450 kids that are in ninth grade biology, have appropriate equal opportunities to demonstrate mastery. So that's a lofty statement, and what it means is that a teacher's grade book and the assignments that they all in the PLC agree on allow students to show they know. And there needs to be an equal number, or the weights need to be equal, so that every student that a 92 means the same thing in every college class. And that you don't have one teacher that has 32 assignments in their grade book and one that has 7. Because that's a real inequitable situation, especially if you look at how they're weighted in a grade book. Desiree knows that from just a student point of view, but the weighting is very important as far as formative assessments, summative assessments, that kind of thing. Mr. State, for instance, does a lot of formative assessment every day. That's what he's doing every day, is listening and making, suggestions, criticism, feedback, so that kind of thing. So I'm very focused on that right now. And because it's something that you can't let go, because as a principal, you kind of assume, that's going on, but when you really start to dig down, you can see that really needs a lot of time and attention. So that's what I'm working very closely with the teachers on. And all teachers keep Infinite Campus up to date, a minimum of 1 grade per week. Implement Schoology, or the second year of that, learning management system as a clear part and a key tool for students and parents to support their academic success. Now we're going to implement another type of learning system called Performance Matters. Ms. Tanner's hugely bringing forth, and she can talk about that next time. Our parents and our students are very savvy, and we want to make sure that we're giving correct information, very frequent information, and that really parents know how their children are doing, and the students know how they're doing. And it's not a mystery; it should never be a mystery. When you come to a conference, a parent conference, that there shouldn't be anything like really surprising that we're like talking about what the student is doing and not doing it. So I'm very excited about that. Okay, so questions about that? That's our first one. Questions about all of that, what we're doing to try to foster academic excellence for all. So, interested in questions you might have, experiences, that kind of thing.
I think this question is related. I was wondering, what the motivation was about changing the C day from Wednesday to Monday and how it's going. You know, having the C day on Mondays.
Teacher feedback, and Ms. Rivera, give me some feedback about that.
We had a Monday where we had a C day and it was so calm and peaceful. Usually you have classes that C day kind of broke it up and then it was a lot of stuff going on during the week. So by being Monday, it seems like the behavior is totally different. It's much more, the kids are just kind of getting ready for school. So and it makes the academic progress a little bit easier for the teachers. And whenever we have a day off, most of the times it's on Monday. So then when you have the Monday off, you just gotta rearrange. So by already being on Monday, it just made it an easier transition.
I would say that I like it a lot for me because I think it gives both teachers and students a reset coming out for the weekend. When you see everybody and you get them ready for the week, so they know what's going on, what to expect. I think also it kind of eliminated people using C days as like their main quiz day because no one is really giving quizzes on Mondays. So it kind of makes it so that everybody's not getting. I think that was a complaint of the kids last year was that they would have like 6 quizzes on a Wednesday. Because it's a 45-minute block, so you can't do a whole ton of teaching. But I like it because you get them in, get them out, and we literally are able to get set up, and they'll be fine for the entire week. I like it.
My schedule's a little different because I move all over. So it goes really fast for me. But it does help and it does allow for, catch up or remediation days, which really help at the beginning of the week as we move forward. Because like he said, the quizzes are towards the end of the week, so we can really remediate on one day and see where they are.
Any feedback from the parent point of view from your kids? Say that to them.
I would just agree that I like the Monday setup. I feel like it just sets the tone for the week. My son then knows, okay, this is what the teachers are expecting of me. So I like it. I like it. It's just kind of an overview week.
Just makes it go by faster. They're not sitting in classes for 90 minutes coming up the weekend. Like for me, I love it as a teacher because it's also hard to go from that Friday to that Monday, like planning wise. And so, okay, I only have them for 45 minutes. I only need a 45-minute lesson plan, like instead of planning for 90-minute classes. It's just easier and it sets up a week for both teachers and students better in my opinion.
Yeah, and if we don't finish something in the last 2 days, it really gives us that time to get caught up.
Desiree, not to put you on the spot, but you're the only student. How's your perspective been?
Well, at first, I'm going to be honest. I and a lot of people despise the C day on Monday because there's so much happening and everyone's tired coming up for the weekend. But as time went on, I agree with everyone else whenever you say that it's a day to kind of catch up and remediate because a lot of work gets missed over the weekend. A lot of people need that 45-minute period to not be like smothered in due dates, but to kind of sit and maybe take that time to finish something we didn't finish or remind ourselves of what our week is going to look like. I feel like Monday is kind of a schedule day where we can take these 45 minutes to plan everything out. So it's really nice to have that at the beginning of the week because it helps us lay everything out so much better. I find that my weeks are so much more organized than they were last year, even though I have a lot more going on. Everything is close. Yes. Yes. And the school week goes by so much faster. It's odd. But I don't know.
It's because it's your senior.
I was about to say,
Well, thank you. That's
Yeah.
very helpful. I thought, I was guessing it was because of the Monday holidays, that it would just make that easier. But it's nice to hear, the other benefits as well. So thank you.
All I know is from my daughter, she hates it. I don't know why, I don't want to know. I just say it's Monday. So, I don't know. I think because it's very, for a freshman, it's very fast. Yes.
And it's a lot.
Yeah, she's just kind of like got the seventh and then it's smooth again. It's eight, but and she's just always worried about getting worried. She's worried. So, but it's good. It's good. I think we should go probably really look at for the student side of that. So it's something we want to continue the Monday, but also just the C day in general. It's something to talk about because we've been doing it, I guess, 4 years now. And, just something to talk about. Is it maybe not needs, what measures just not needed.
Anything else about these? So, the discussion's been concluded, so we'll have a vote on that this action item is. So all in favor, please say aye. So, all right, we will now move on to discussion items on our agenda. No, we didn't really have anything. I think Mr. Staken had a couple last time. I didn't get Adam in here for today, but we can, so any discussion items we want to add? We do have the STEAM update. Yes, let me, I didn't get to drop in slides, so you can just go ahead. There you go. Yeah, I didn't get to all that class.
Okay, so I'm just gonna give a brief update. Right now, we have 4 of the teachers are enrolled in the STEM endorsement, and we have a set of teachers and administrators going to the STEM forum. This week we will have in the oceanography class. We have Georgia Aquarium coming in. They're bringing invertebrate for the students, and it's going to be interactive with the students. In the week of October 10th, the geometry classes are going to the Atlanta Botanical Garden for an origami exhibit, and they're using some of the shapes and stuff in geometry, or not geometry, sorry, I'm saying the correct terms, but they're going to use geometry with the exhibit, and it's showing them how geometry is more than just something that's in the classroom, how it gets turned into a profession. So, and the teachers, I think the teachers are more excited than the students to go. So I'm excited about that. For the October 10th professional development, we have the Fine Arts Department coming in to discuss with the teachers how to integrate the aid for STEAM in their class efficiently. Thank you. And we also have project-based learning group is going to come in and show the teachers how to do project-based learning more efficiently. So right now we're basically in our foundational stages. We're just making sure our teachers know and understand how to implement STEAM, how to implement project-based learning in their classrooms. We do have some girls going to the careers in engineering in October, but they had to apply, and then they have to send them a statement that says, congratulations, you will be attending, and we still haven't heard anything from them yet. So that's the update. Do you have any questions or concerns? Also, I forgot to say this. Thank you to the foundation who has given us funding for some additional crickets in our makerspace, vinyl, and some some books for the teachers for STEM. So STEAM. Any other questions or concerns?
But it's a long process, well, not that long, but to be still state certified. So Ms. Tim goes to meetings. So, full-time job.
Any other information items?
I have one more statement. We are going to, the next meeting with the STEAM team this week, we are going to go through our requirements for our student STEAM team, because we want to get their input with how they have, what vision they have for the culture of our school as a STEAM school. So that's what we were down here talking about. She wants to be involved, and I'm like, yeah, you can be on the team. So we're going to work that out, and then we'll start surveying the students to see what they envision for their school as a STEAM school.
We will now move on to information items. First, the principal's report, which is kind of giving an update. Anything else on that?
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, did you want your question?
But safety, safety.
Yeah, so basically last time we talked about, just very briefly, I have definitely seen enhanced security measures. My biggest concern, I think, is making sure, I know we can't get 100%, but definitely getting it as close to 100% as possible with the bag checks, and especially students that enter late. That's always been a concern. Even students have mentioned that. So it's what happens if somebody comes in at like 10 o'clock, and comes to the front office, like, does their bag get checked? Like, what happens? Just kind of thinking, yes, is there a rare chance, that can happen, but it would be sad if something did happen just because we weren't vigilant in trying to get everyone checked. So I don't know what it would take to make sure that is happening at some level. I definitely don't want to put any more work on the front office clerks. I know they get pretty slammed up there at certain times of day. So not thinking about that, just trying to think through situations where making sure that everyone gets checked. I know Mr. Howard does a really good job in the morning of trying to streamline everybody through there, but I know people still sneak through and get out and whatnot. So just trying to figure out how everybody can go through those metal detectors and go through that check process.
That, in order to have that done even more thoroughly, which I think we're doing a really good job, very focused this year on that. It would require, honestly, the teacher thing to be down in the cafeteria helping with bag checks. Make sure that we catch every single student coming in. That is what, because we are right now using every person that is not a teacher in the area from 8 to 8:45. And this Rivera was doing all the time. It was Tanner is down there. Teachers they're coming in earlier than their work time, and not teachers. All these staff members started with their actual work time and doing that. It was very important that we started off with the teacher thing and be not involved in that in their classroom. But I will be honest with you, it will require teachers on a rotating basis coming in for a week at a time, like we did when I first got here. Make sure that it's thorough, and then it would require also some kind of rotation system in the front office to check bags for everybody that comes in. After 8:45, it would be a massive thing. 100%. It's balancing getting the kids in the first period on time, because we have a huge number of children that decide at 8:40 to come in the door. When they've been here since 8:20, but they decided that, so we do try to catch a lot of things, like Friday at because sneaking in that door down there. They're running late, somebody calls somebody, let them in, but so they're not got attention. But kids forget that we have cameras everywhere, and they can say, no, we didn't. I'm like, okay, let's just look at this right here. So yeah, it's a constant. you were also asking about maybe the red steps, I think. the red-
Mhm.
red step-
Yeah, are those gates 100% locked all the time? You know, because I'll be honest, like our repair guy that comes, you know, I've just been sitting there and like he just rolled up in the classroom. I'm just like, okay, we let you in, you know, just it's stuff like that. Like I know it's harmless, but it's like, what happens if it's somebody that's not harmless? You know, like how is that happening? You know, just to say with those gates. I know last year they weren't as effective when they first put them. I feel like they're a little bit better this year. Just making sure those gates are always 100% locked and all that good stuff. Because that is supposed to be kind of like the fortress to the school. Because if those are 100% locked, then you can have the interior doors unlocked so the kids can be roaming freely about, so they're not, you know. So things
Well,
are
yeah, we
operational.
have to have a way for the ROTC students, any student that's outside to be able to come in,
Mhm.
you know, which is why there's one gate. You know, I don't like to necessarily, because this is a lot to talk about, you know, all of our safety in detail, but, you know, we do try to keep those things locked all the time, not prop. You know, safety belongs to everybody in here, all the students, all the teachers, everybody, you know, the propping of doors. Like, I'll just say that the music wing, often that door is like wide open, not even propped, you know, and if that's a mechanical thing, that's why I need people to report that, so we can fix it, you know. But, you know, we're not a fortress. Kids move around from building to building to building to building, so to have every door locked all the time is a hindrance.
Yeah.
This is the problem is, you know, so then we have kids out there banging on the door, you know, I mean, it's constant, it's a constant.
Makes sense.
Is there something that sort of just blocks the perimeter? Okay, so there is something that just, that does.
Right,
just
our
that.
SROs are out a lot, noticing things, yes, and we're waiting to get our third one, it's just, we are waiting for our third one, so we got a lot of that, they're just in the hiring process. I walk around quite a bit and just try to make sure that the doors are shut, the gates are locked, and I do that. Lock people out at lunchtime. You know, those students, they're tricky. From Ms. Robbins, Margaret, just often out there at lunch, you know, kids will tell her stuff. She's very good at picking out who's not telling the truth. And, you know, but we have minimum day, we have doing them all, but we have all that going on. They keep us there. Yes.
I discussed it with Dr. Bachman, but also because of what recently happened, I want to, and I have started putting, because I do the monitors. Well, actually, Mr. Robertson, I do the monitors, so he does some and I do some. But I have started trying to put some digital citizenship type videos on the monitors, but I really want to try to see if we could do like a community school-wide digital citizenship challenge or something like that. And I just wanted to make sure that I got parent and student input regarding how we could do that effectively and in a way that it is long lasting, not just a moment, in a way that is a continual thought and a part of the culture of the school. So that's my discussion item, information.
Any suggestions?
Yes.
We'll add that to the next agenda so that everybody can think.
But if you can just send, as far as some ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we can just
And,
make that.
and Desiree, if you and Chloe think of anything that would be, from a student point of view, like useful, really, not to just sit through like PowerPoint after PowerPoint, I mean, to really talk about, I mean, just twice a week, the counselors and I are dealing with some kind of inappropriate, something stupid that student did, and then shared it, and, you know, it's a body part, and then you're talking about that, that's like, if it's moved on, that's like child porn. You know, kids don't understand that, but it's, you know,
There used to be a lawyer that they would bring into, Emmett, I forgot his name, but he would go over stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Tom Morgan?
Yes.
But yes, we can find somebody, definitely to do that, because, I mean, the FBI, we have, there's a couple of parents actually that work for the Department of Justice, and they work closely with the FBI. They might, because, and that, one of those parents works completely on cybersecurity on that. So, having somebody that's really in it all day would be helpful. So we'll, let's think about some ways we can really do that. All right.
Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay. Public comment, I do not see anyone here to make public comment. Does anyone have any announcements? I'll go ahead and announce the next meeting is October 17th at 4:15.
Do we do a public comment from the audience?
Yes, we sort of did that.
I've got to put the form up.
Do I look at on this to see?
Well, there is questions in YouTube to see if they,
On YouTube,
and then see if you have any questions. No?
No.
Okay.
It's one participant.
So, yeah, because I kind of did some research with other school systems, and there is a way like that I can do a Google form and they can go ahead and sign up prior. So I'm gonna work to do that. So next meeting, October 17th at 4:15.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Before, I had one comment as a parent. Last month, when we had the whole, the lockdown and everything, I commend you for how it was handled. But I think for me as a parent, when, you send an email, and sometimes in the morning, parents are getting ready and I don't check my emails in the morning. So for me, I understand that maybe on the other end, maybe something was, said that not to send out to, magnify the situation. But if that robocall would have went on and said, hey, parents, can you just check your emails like right away? That kind of would have did it for me. And then I would have known my son would be calling me all day. That mom, but I told him once he got to school and he was there, I figured that the police and everybody would be here and it would be safe. I said, that's probably the safest place to be, but I didn't find out until somebody called me.
There's a
And told me.
limitation on the, thing as to what time.
Oh, okay.
You can send it. out.
Okay.
That was why I had to ask for an exemption to send out an email.
Oh, okay.
When was it? Seven.
Oh, okay.
Send out the one at 7. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was
Yeah.
going to be 300 kids that never got. So, yeah, but you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right. Any way that we could, yeah. Because we started the day with 400, by the end of the day, we had, I don't know, 50. So,
But I told him once he was here, he was say.
yeah. So, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
They need to have some type of protocol for emergencies like that.
What,
Like campus or
for that, for a robocall?
yeah, for like an emergency.
Oh, no, it's
That happens in the middle of the
okay,
night.
so that's-
Yeah, that happens like early, so we'll know. If I haven't, I just think that it panicked them because they're living in just a whole different society.
Oh, yeah.
And so when he called me, I'm trying to stay calm and keep it calm. It's and they were already on the bus. And so I was like, you're already halfway to the school. So I'm pretty sure I said, and then I had to pull over because I was on my way to work just to check the email to see if you said don't come.
Right.
And I was like, well, she didn't say not to come.
Right.
She said that. So you're there. So I'm pretty sure it'll be good.
I will check in with the Office of Communication
Yeah.
just to see if there's something that I can always override and, yeah. that's-
just in case.
Just in case. Yeah, we are.
We have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 4:59.
Wait, go Zoom.
that's good.
And I can just.
Oh, yeah, you can say it.
Okay.